Coming up on today's Cowboys Report, we will talk the Zay Jones visit going on today for the Cowboys. Dallas adding, kind of, sort of, but also, yes, a quarterback. I'll explain. Zay Jones has once again offered new but not new stuff on Dak Prescott and the idea of signing Xavien Howard to the Cowboys roster. Now, we are 1 week away from the NFL schedule release. If you want a record prediction, once we know what that schedule is, or once it gets leaked again, then like today's video right now. We begin with the latest on Zay Jones, who is set to visit the Cowboys today per Jordan Schultz, and since confirmed by other local Cowboys media, but that news broken by Schultz. It is intriguing for Dallas, as they're clearly looking to at least add competition, if not find a better option, at that wide receiver 3/wide receiver 4 spot. Jones was cut by Jacksonville after the NFL draft and has now taken 3 visits: the Arizona Cardinals, the Tennessee Titans, and the Dallas Cowboys now most recently. Now, what is at least somewhat of note, Jones was born in Dallas. He is the son of the former first-round pick by the Cowboys way back in 1992. That's linebacker Robert Jones. So there are the familial ties that this Cowboys organization does tend to prefer at times. But Jones has also been a productive receiver in what has been a fairly lengthy journeyman career. Spent the last 2 years with Jacksonville, was banged up in 2023. Obviously, they brought in Calvin Ridley. That cut down on his targets too. Battled through a knee injury. I think part of all these visits is for Jones to figure out what his market looks like, and also for the teams to get a look and see how that knee injury is coming along from that perspective. He was better in 2022. Does have sub 4.5 speed, although at his age, the injuries, maybe it's not true 4.45 like it was when he was coming out as a second-round pick all those years ago. Has mostly been healthy despite battling the injuries this past year. And it'd give you the veteran option at the wide receiver 3 spot you don't really have. You have Tolbert, you have Turpin, you have Jalen Brooks. You drafted Ryan Flournoy in the 6th round, who I am intrigued by because he does bring you the speed that you don't really have beyond Cooks, and he's getting older, and a bunch of unproven guys beyond them. Martavis Bryant, of course, getting up there in age as well. I do wonder if this means Dallas is not sold on Jalen Tolbert. But more competition's a good thing, depending, of course, on what that contract looks like. Given the way the Cowboys have operated, they're not going to offer him big money, nor would any team, since I don't think there was any trade interest in him around the NFL draft. More to come here on Zay Jones, but would you sign him if you were the Cowboys organization? It's the pinned comment on today's video, so go take advantage of that ad break while it plays. Y for yes, N for no. Look, I'm down to add him and get wide receiver help. We got 3 players the Cowboys signed as outside free agents. You're going to increase that by 25%. At a certain point, it's like, they did something, right? I also wouldn't be mad if he doesn't sign. This would probably be one of the better players you would have signed that's an outside free agent, if we're being honest here, given some of the previous years' production. He's also coming off a down year, an injury, no guarantees, better than Tolbert, although maybe the Cowboys aren't sold on that one, which, so be it there. Gives them a veteran wide receiver 3 option. And ideally, you structure it properly, and you get the value, and it's not much guaranteed money. In case he's bad, you can cut him like you did with Ronald Jones last year. I do wish you offered a little bit more juice. I would love to add speed. And Zay Jones did run a 4.45 when he came out of the NFL draft several years ago. I don't know if he still offers that same level of juice in the same way like a DJ Chark has offered speed. Of course, he's been signed. But the speed options aren't great either. It's like, Mecole Hardman, okay, caught the Super Bowl touchdown, great. Not really consistent at this point. I will make note the Cowboys have 2 open roster spots, so no corresponding move would be needed to add Zay Jones here. And my suspicion is that he fits their preferred price range. The 1-year deal, $2-ish million, will guarantee you $500,000, and roster bonuses, incentives, etc. That could take it up to like $3 million. That's their preferred range this offseason. They haven't gone above 5 in like 7 years in terms of the most they've paid to a player. I don't think they'd do that for Zay Jones either. More Cowboys news and rumors to come on today's show, but it is first made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Pick more, pick less, that's it. 2 to 6 player stat projections. You come out on top, you win money. It is as easy as fun as it can possibly be. Obviously, the NBA playoffs going on right now. The WNBA, more on that, set to get started here in just a little bit. I'm a big fan in general of the flex play. That way, it's not the same payout, it's a little bit lower payout. If you get one wrong of your 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, whatever, you still come out on top. There are some NBA prize picks that I want to get to here with one of the specialty features from PrizePicks. It's a freebie. It's Caitlin Clark, a half point in her season debut, regular season debut. Make one free throw. That's going to happen for Caitlin Clark. So that's a no-brainer. So because of that, I will not do the flex play. I will do the power play since I'm already getting my freebie there. And I'm going to take less stands here on the Pacers-Knicks game coming up later tonight on Wednesday. Jalen Brunson's been playing out of his mind. 37.5 is so many, though. I'll take less than. I think he'll get like 30, which is still a great number for him. I'll also take less than Pascal Siakam, 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's a low number. He hasn't hit it in 5 straight games. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That link will be in both the comment section and the description of today's show. Now, it appears the Cowboys have found their rookie minicamp quarterback camp arm, if we can be so blunt on that front there. I don't have the pronunciation guide for Northwestern Missouri State, but that's where we're at here. Got a SEMO and an NWMST. Kind of crazy. The small school. Weird cardinal directional. Not even cardinal directional schools there. I believe it is pronounced Mike Hohensee. I might be wrong on that one. Per his social media, I haven't seen any other Cowboys reporters mention this, but he's said he's got a camp invite coming up here for rookie minicamp this weekend. Played at Northwestern Missouri State. The Cowboys don't have any other quarterbacks beyond Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, and Trey Lance on their roster at this time. And much like they had last year when they brought in Matthew McKay from Elon, they literally need someone to throw passes. So they're going to go with the guy that not only have I not heard of, he wasn't even in Dane Brugler's Beast. And that's got like 3,000 players in it. And he was not in there unless my search function failed there. So we are deep in the weeds on who this guy is. Thankfully, stats exist, and even Western Missouri State, tracks those stats. So here's what we got for you on Mike Hohensee, whose dad did play briefly in the NFL, mostly in the CFL, etc. 9 games played this past year, 22 TDs, 10 interceptions. Troubling, the completion percentage and yards per game did go in the wrong direction. Was at 73.6% back in 2021. Barely played in 2020 at 15 passes, but 5 of them went for scores, which is kind of hilarious. Has always been a roughly 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio guy. Does offer some mobility. 3.1 yards per carry in his time in college. 15 touchdowns as well on the ground. Is by definition a dual threat. Not just because of his running. He also punted in college. He had 115 punts with only a 38.8 average, so it wasn't very good. But it's Tommy Tupa all over again. He was your punter and your quarterback, as a blast from the past name right there. He won't be a punter, of course, in the NFL. Percent chance he makes the roster. He's got a chance to impress and say, you should add me as your 4th quarterback. I think that number is very, very low. But go ahead and sound off for me in the comments. I won't spend too much time on latest Dak Prescott update because it's more the same, word salad jambalaya mess from Zay Jones. Franchise quarterback contracts, they just take time to do, even though he once said, hopefully this deal gets done with little to no conversation about it, which, pick one, Steven. Those are 2 very different things. There's just no effort from either side. And it's not up to the player and his agent when he's months away from getting a record-setting contract in free agency. They don't need to be the ones coming to the Jones. It's up to the organization to be like, hey, let's do this. Let's save money before Trevor Lawrence gets a big contract. Like there's a scenario exists in which Trevor Lawrence in a week, a month, 2 months, whatever, gets a record-setting number, and it's like, well, okay, now Dak's going to get more than that, and the market sets him once again. Steven also tried his best Jerryism, talking about the team, saying, we've won 12 games 3 years in a row. I think that's right at the top in terms of what teams have done over a 3-year period. We're hanging around the rim. We got to go up there and grab it, to use a basketball term, and dunk it in. We're hanging around the rim. We just got to get the job done. I think I speak for most of us when I say there's nothing this team can say, Steven, Jerry, McCarthy, Dak, whatever, to make us happy. We're just mad, and we should be. And I do think the we're close mindset is a fine one to have. They're right. They've won 12 games in a row. They're not that far away from having better playoff success. But you can't say that and then do nothing in the offseason. That doesn't track with their moves. To sit there and say, you know what, we're close, we just got to go up there and grab it, and then actively make your team worse, that doesn't make sense to me. You kind of got to pick one. So I don't think they'll be a better team in 2024. They're certainly not on paper. Maybe they'll play better. Most importantly, playing better in January. We are, again, 1 week away from the schedule coming out for the Dallas Cowboys. We will break that down for you. We'll see if we get it leaked. We had it leaked 2 years in a row now. But predict that Cowboys record in 2024 in the comments. Do want to mention Xavien Howard as an option for the Cowboys. Bleacher Report suggesting Dallas could pursue him in NFL free agency, which I think is worth having a discussion about, given the potential need at corner and the uncertainty around Stephon Gilmore at this time. Before we get into that, we are losing the May subscriber battle. We will check back in on that throughout the month. We're barely behind the Giants, who still don't have a good quarterback. So let's make sure they get nothing good in their lives. They got enough Knicks bonus stuff, I guess, going on. Hit that sub button right now. Howard might fall in the Gilmore category of, he is coming off injury. Maybe that's a factor in why things have not been moving, super rapid for Howard and for the cornerback market in general, frankly. His numbers have dipped a little bit. 1 interception, 12 pass breakups is a far cry from that 2020 campaign. Everything's gone in the wrong direction to an extent, at least on like a rate basis. PBUs actually, I suppose, did go up. TDs went down this past year as well. But the 10 interception, 20 pass breakup guy, it's not who you're going to get. Now, he has said he is open to taking less to play for a contender. How much is less? That's the issue the Cowboys got to find a way to figure out there. If he wants to, come be a rotation piece, the top backup, which I think he can find a starting role, Las Vegas, somewhere else, I'm down. But I do think Dallas is probably not as interested in a player like Howard as the outlets, the media want them to be.